Cops beat his son into a coma, so he unleashed hell on them. They said Jamal Harris was just another kid, but they were wrong. What two crooked cops did that night didn't just break one boy's body. It woke up a storm in his father, Marcus Harris. Marcus had spent decades as a detective, tracking criminals through alleys and backrooms, thinking he'd seen every lie a badge could cover up. But no training, no gun, no years on the force prepared him to watch his own son fight for his life because of the very system he'd once sworn to protect. Jamal was 17. He was his family's hope, captain of his high school track team, top of his class, the first in line for a scholarship that would have changed everything. His mother, Denise, would tape his medals to the fridge. His little sister, Ava, would race him down the street, pretending she could keep up. That night, he left practice late. His coach offered him a ride, but Jamal waved him off. He wanted to clear his head. He jogged home through the neighborhood, hoodie up, headphones in, already picturing his future. He never saw the patrol car roll up behind him. Officers Kane and Miller, names whispered on the block like a curse. They were known for shaking down teenagers, planting charges, making good kids disappear into the system. "Hey, you match a description," Kane barked as Jamal froze under the broken streetlight. "I'm just trying to get home, sir," Jamal said, hands raised, eyes wide. He showed them his school ID, his track bag, even the receipt from the burger joint where he'd eaten with friends. It didn't matter. One shove turned into a punch. One punch turned into boots on his ribs. Jamal screamed for help that didn't come. By the time the ambulance arrived, Jamal's blood was smeared on the asphalt, and Kane and Miller were already rewriting the story. Marcus got the call at midnight. A voice he didn't recognize, a rookie nurse, said, "Your son's in surgery. You should come now." At the hospital, Denise collapsed when she saw Jamal's face, swollen, bandaged, tubes running from his mouth. Marcus just stood there. He'd seen bodies like this before, gang shootings, bar fights gone wrong. But this was his boy. The police report said Jamal attacked the officers, that he resisted arrest. Marcus could taste the lie like bile in his throat. He sat by Jamal's bed for days. Nurses came and went. Denise prayed by the window. Ava left her brother her favorite stuffed bear, whispering that she needed him to wake up. On the fifth night, Marcus leaned close and whispered, "I'm bringing them down. For you. For every father who's buried the truth under a badge." When Jamal's story hit the local news, it was a footnote. Teen hospitalized after resisting arrest. The department didn't release body cam footage. The union lawyered up. Marcus knew how they worked. He'd once turned a blind eye when a fellow detective bent the rules to close a case. No more. This time he was the witness, the investigator, and the jury. He tracked down the gas station camera that caught the whole beating. He convinced the owner, an immigrant, who didn't want any trouble, to hand over the tape. He found a neighbor, an elderly woman named Mrs. Green, who had heard Jamal's cries through her window and wrote down every detail in a notebook. He knocked on doors at midnight, hunting for any victim who'd been scared into silence before. There were plenty. A father who'd settled after a beating. A college kid whose charges had mysteriously vanished when he left town. One by one, Marcus pieced together a trail of bruises and lies. While Jamal lay in a coma, the neighborhood woke up. Students organized candlelight vigils. The church put up Jamal's photo on its signboard. Ava made a drawing. Justice for Jamal. Marcus stood before the crowd, his hands trembling around a microphone. "They think this ends when the cameras go away," he said. "Not this time. If they can do this to my boy, they'll do it to yours. Stand with me." The video leaked online, blurry, shaky, but clear enough. Jamal never fought back. He never threw a punch. He just tried to get home. Kane and Miller hid behind their lawyers, spouting the same script. He resisted. But now the truth had a voice louder than their lies. When the trial began, the courtroom buzzed like a hornet's nest. Reporters crowded the benches. Activists lined the halls with signs. Jamal sat in a wheelchair, his left eye still swollen shut, but alive. Marcus took the stand. He spoke about the night he got the call, about the hours he spent watching his boy fight for every breath. He held up the shoes Jamal wore that night, track spikes, still caked in dirt from the field. "Does this look like a weapon?" he asked the jury. Silence answered him. Halfway through the trial, a protest outside turned into a rally. Denise joined them, holding Ava's hand. Jamal's teammates came in their uniforms. The crowd chanted, No badge above the law. Justice for Jamal. If you believe no parent should ever face this, hit like now. Drop a comment saying justice so the world hears this truth. And subscribe. These stories must be told. Asterisk asterisk. The jury took just 6 hours. Guilty. All counts. The cops lost their badges, their pensions, their freedom. Marcus didn't flinch when the verdict was read. He just held Jamal's hand. Ava squeezed his other side. Years later, Jamal still carries scars. He never made it back to the track team. The damage was too much. But he found a new lane. He and Marcus started Promise for Justice, a local nonprofit that trains families to know their rights, to film every stop, to speak up when others can't. On the anniversary of the verdict, they held a candlelight vigil. Jamal stood in front of hundreds, his voice strong for the first time in years. "They thought they could silence me," he said, looking at his father. "But you can't kill the truth." They lit candles for every name that never saw justice. Every mother who never got answers. Every father who never got to fight back. So if you're watching this and you ever feel like your voice doesn't matter, remember Marcus. Remember Jamal. One father's promise is louder than a million lies. If you stand with them, drop justice in the comments. Like this video so it spreads. They can't silence the truth forever. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because we'll keep telling these stories until no badge is stronger than the truth. This is your channel for raw, real stories that prove karma is real, truth is power, and it always comes for those who think they're untouchable.